Pregnancy is a remarkable time in a woman's life when she prepares herself to step into motherhood. Dr. Geeta Arjun, obstetrician and director of E.V. Kalyani Medical Center, has an exclusive fitness center for pregnant women, the first of its kind in South India. Doctor, should all pregnant women do fitness exercises?
The problem with pregnancy nowadays is that everybody believes pregnancy is a disease. Earlier, women got pregnant, they carried on with their normal work, they didn't even hesitate, they did their cooking, their swabbing, their washing their clothes. But nowadays, for some reason, people have started believing that you have to be very, very careful, but obviously not. Pregnancy is a normal state and we have to carry on normal activities. But unfortunately, a lot of our women have sedentary jobs and we are not as active now that we have machines to take care of a lot of our work like washing clothes. Women have become more sedentary and therefore we are not getting activity, really good exercises. So there's no question in my mind that women must follow a fitness regimen, because that is what is going to bring in a certain amount of boundaries, certain amount of sets, so that people will know how to keep all the muscles in their body flexible and strong. Pregnancy by itself takes you through a lot of problems, in the sense that you can get back pain, you can get cramps in your legs, your body changes in shape. Obviously you get a big stomach, so what happens is the lower back gets curved a lot, and so therefore there is a lot of pain in the lower back. So all these changes also need to be helped by specific exercises, and that's why we believe that fitness is part and parcel of a pregnancy. Now a woman might say, how do I exercise? What should I do? What are the things that I must do in pregnancy? The first simplest exercise for a pregnant woman is walking. And by walking I mean not just strolling, but brisk walking. I mean that you get out there specifically saying that I'm going to walk that fast and I'm going to cover, I would say a good speed would be to do 3 kilometers in 45 minutes. That's a good speed. But obviously when you get closer to term, when you're really, really heavy, feeling heavy, you may not be able to do that fast walking. But at least if you can do half an hour and you get to do at least maybe 1.5 kilometers, that would be really, really good. But if you can get into an exercise class, there's nothing like it, and there's no question that more and more women are aware of this, and now that is why we believe that if we have specific exercises for pregnancy, it will help you. Now when I was talking about changes in the body, we talk about balance, we talk about flexibility, and we talk about strength, because you need that strength in your muscles to be able to go through a normal delivery. Remember that as a woman, you should be able to have a normal delivery in 80%. 80% chances should be there of your having a normal delivery. Everybody now thinks that cesarean is the way to go. Obviously not. It is the best way is to have a natural delivery, and exercises help you to have a natural delivery. So when I talked about flexibility, it's very important that your muscles don't become stiff during pregnancy, and for that there are specific exercises which stretch your muscles. Flexibility is also important because you get cramping in your pelvis, in your calf muscles, and specific exercises, stretches for your calf muscles help in that. Then I talked about balance. Again, as I said, in pregnancy, because your abdomen is out here, your stomach is growing, the baby is growing, so your center of balance changes, center of gravity changes, so you might have a tendency to fall. And the best way to prevent this is to exercise regularly, because exercise always gives you a sense of balance. And the last thing that I talked about is strength during labor. So there are specific muscles, your abdominal muscles, your pelvic muscles, which need to push the baby out. They have to be strong. And you need a fitness regimen which works on these muscles and keeps these muscles strong and help you when you're ready to have the baby.
How good is the response for fitness training? Is the trend picking up in Chennai?
I believe that women are very aware of fitness regimens, fitness classes, and this is a dream I've been following for many, many years at EV Kalyani Medical Center, because I've always believed that a fit woman, a woman who is active, will have a very positive attitude towards her pregnancy. For more than a decade, we have been having classes at our hospital, and it's been run by trained people, people who have had specifically know what kind of exercises are safe in pregnancy. You must remember that it's not enough to just do any kind of exercise. It has to be supervised. It has to be specific to pregnancy, because there are certain things that you can't do. You can't do high impact aerobics because that will hurt your joints. In pregnancy, what happens is, because of the hormones, the joints become a little looser. So if you do high impact aerobics, or you do stretches which might overextend your joints, you might end up with a sprain which will keep on, paining you for the entire pregnancy. So this has to be very supervised, and therefore we have been doing these classes, and we have chosen specific exercises which gets you moving, gets you balance, brings flexibility, and tones up your body. And toning up of the body is very, very important in pregnancy. And I think this trend is definitely picking up. Now I'm seeing more and more people asking for this, and earlier we used to literally have to sell this whole thing to them, saying you need it. We used to have to tell them this is very, very important for you, and a lot of mothers-in-law and mothers used to be skeptical, because this whole concept is, if you are very active, the baby will drop out. For heaven's sake, that's hardly something that, it should not even enter your mind. If the pregnancy is healthy, there is no question it will stay in whatever you do, whether you jump up and down or not. If the pregnancy is abnormal, even if you lie flat in bed for hours on end, this pregnancy is going to be pushed out by the body, because it's an abnormal pregnancy. So activity does not harm you in any way in pregnancy. Having said that, there are certain situations where we want to be careful in certain pregnant women. Now, if you take somebody who's had bleeding in early pregnancy, we'll say, okay, for 2 to 3 weeks, take it easy. We'll make sure that the baby is normal. We check the heartbeat with an ultrasound, do a scan, make sure that everything is all right. And then we say, go ahead, restart your exercises, obviously gradually. Somebody who's got very high blood pressure, we tell them to rest a little bit more. They can still go for walks, but they can be a little bit more gentle walks rather than very brisk walks. And other than these kind of situations, activity is absolutely okay in pregnancy. I'm not sure if all of you are aware that in India, we have become the diabetic capital of the world. We have so much diabetes, and particularly in pregnancy. When I started practice 30 years ago, only about 2.5% of pregnant women had diabetes. Now it's up to 15 to 20% of pregnant women. That's a huge number. And the reason for that is women are starting off with a very high weight even before they get pregnant. Their body mass indexes are very high. So exercise is very important in keeping your weight within the normal amount that you should put on in pregnancy. That's why exercise is, no question about it. It's an absolute important part of pregnancy, just like taking your iron tablets, just like having your scans, just like seeing your obstetrician regularly. Exercise is also very much part of a good pregnancy.
Doctor, is it necessary for pregnant women to exercise under supervision?
There is no question about it that women must be supervised when they're doing regular exercises for pregnancy. Obviously, when you're going for a walk, you don't need supervision. You just need company. You take your husband along to make you walk, help make it more interesting. But when you're doing specific exercises in pregnancy, it has to be supervised. If you can get a trainer who's particularly knows what has to be done in pregnancy, there's nothing like it. What happens in pregnancy is that your joints can become a little loose as part of the changes in pregnancy. So if you do the wrong exercises, you might end up spraining yourself or hurting yourself. So if you have somebody who's supervising and making sure that you're doing the right thing, there's nothing like it. The other problem is that however much you want to do your exercises, you still may not be motivated. So if there's somebody who is supporting you, helping you, motivating you, you'll go through the entire hour of exercise. And that's why definitely you need supervision. You also have to be, before you start specific exercises in pregnancy, make sure that you check with your doctor that you in your pregnancy are fit enough to go through with exercises. Also, make sure that you are not dehydrated, particularly in this kind of weather. When you sweat a lot during the exercises, you might get terribly dehydrated. Make sure that you drink plenty of fluids before. It could be water, it could be juice, it could be coconut water, it could be buttermilk, and also immediately after the exercise, make sure that you are replenishing all the fluid that you have lost. Drink plenty of water.
Doctor, should there be a specific pattern to the kind of fitness exercises that pregnant women do?
Now, what happens is that when you start off, your muscles are still tense, or you've been sitting at the office all day, or you have not really stretched the muscles. So, start off with warm-up exercises, and that's what a trainer is very good for. They help you go through some warm-up exercises, and then when you're really okay with your muscles are feeling better, then you can do all your exercises. And the last thing, again, you have to slow down. At the last 5 minutes of your exercises, again have to be a cool down period. And again, when you start off the very first day of exercise, don't try to do all the exercises all at once. Start off in the next, over the next week or so, build up your stamina, build up the number of repetitions that you do in your exercise, and then through the pregnancy you can exercise. So never forget a warm-up period before you start the exercise, a cool-down period just before you finish the entire exercise.
Are you enjoying the fitness sessions?
Yes, I'm really enjoying the fitness sessions so far. The instructor is great and the exercises are tailored specifically for pregnancy. I think after pregnancy, you find it difficult to do some of the exercises or some of the exercise routines that you had before pregnancy. So this class teaches you how to do things that are safe and healthy for both you and your baby.
You find the fitness sessions tiring?
The fitness sessions have been quite pleasant and enjoyable experience. It has a right mix of warm-up, stretches, exercises and yoga. It keeps you active all through the day during your pregnancy too.
How is this fitness training helping you during your pregnancy?
Exercise during pregnancy keeps me fit and trim, and also it relieves me from severe back pain and cramp.
Going by the number of pregnant women who have signed up for fitness classes here, the fitness trend is picking up for sure. Tilaka Ravi, reporting for MedIndia Health Network.